to get a win in Green Bay.
Kimberly, the Browns will win in Kansas City if...
Greeny, if the Browns can keep the Chiefs, if they make the Chiefs work hard for every yard downfield and keep them from getting those explosive plays, then the Browns are in good shape defensively. On offense, they need to protect the football. Baker has to ball out, and this team has to continue playing like they belong on this big stage.
Next game, Rob Ninkovich, I'm coming to you. The Buccaneers an underdog at New Orleans. The Buccaneers will win if...
Tom Brady has a clean pocket and is protected by his front seven. So you look at Tom Brady in the past, when he's under pressure, he's having trouble. So if they can keep him upright and protect him, I think that's going to be their best shot of winning this football game. If you don't, it's going to be a long day, and Tom's going to be screaming at everybody. So keep Tom protected, you got a shot.
Okay, and then Bart, how about your former team, the Ravens? They will win if...
Yeah. If they put the ball in the hands of Josh Allen. Is he an MVP candidate? Yes. But is he as progressive of a passer as people say he is? I don't believe so. So I believe you take Stefon Diggs away and see if he can beat you with his B game. So if you do that, I think he doesn't have enough. Erase him, and there are 3 losses. Stefon Diggs only averaged 9 yards a carry with no explosives.
I really like that. Let's, in fact, take a little closer look at that. Since week 13, these two quarterbacks, both drafted in the same class, of course, have both been extraordinary. They both have QBRs over 90, double-digit touchdown passes. Allen's 15 touchdowns are actually tied with Aaron Rodgers for the most in the league over this stretch. But we were having a great conversation this morning in our meeting, and I'd love to bring it here about the strategy. RC, I want you to hear this. Bart, very quickly, run through how you would design the defense against Buffalo this weekend if you were calling it for Baltimore.
Listen, I'm coming up in the defensive meeting. I'm saying, listen, we just stopped the best running game in the business last week. We can stop these guys with a light box. What we're going to do is we're going to take away his favorite weapon in Stefon Diggs. We're not going to do it by putting Marlon Humphreys on him, our best corner. We're going to take him away by putting our second best corner, who's pretty damn good as well, in Peters. But guess what, Peters? We're not going to have you out there being Delta O'Neal trying to jump everything. We're going to put a safety behind you. We're going to double Diggs. We're going to put the heavy lifting. We're going to put the heavy lifting on Humphreys, who's our best corner, to take away their number 2 guy. We should be able to erase him, and guess what? We've been waiting for you, Jimmy Smith, to try and earn your paycheck. We want you to come over here with this kid with the weak kneecap and dominate him in Beasley in the slot. And guess what? Everybody else, we're going to handle this weak run game. And let's see if Josh Allen can surgically dissect us. And don't get too cute with all these exotic blitzes. Keep eyes on him. And listen, the Ravens are the craziest team to worry about because they blitz all the time where they don't have to. They have 2 elite pass rushers. Let those guys work, earn their money, put that cheese on a taco.
What do you think? Ryan Clark putting the cheese on the taco. What do you think, RC?
I think it sounds good, and also we've seen this from teams in the past. Darrelle Revis, when he was in New England, was employed many times on the number 2 wide receiver, and Devin McCourty would be the guy over the top of number 1 while the second corner was on him. So we've seen this work before. Another thing I would add to this is that Josh Allen struggles against cover 2. And I know the Ravens don't major in cover 2, but when you have 2 ball-savvy guys like Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters on the outside, give them those opportunities to see. Give them those opportunities to break top down on things, and make Josh Allen earn those yards. Now, it's easier said than done, because if you're used to doing something good, like the Baltimore Ravens is, which is man-to-man, which is blitzing, a lot of times you want to impose your will on offenses. Take your time. Mark, sit there and say, you know what? We're going to play the way that beats you. We're going to adjust to what Josh Allen struggles with. And if Wink Martindale can do that, I believe the Baltimore Ravens have a great opportunity to win this game.
And then, Nico, let's go to the other side. Over the summer, you are Lamar Jackson's biggest fan and supporter, and the beginning of the season obviously didn't go so well. But what has been the difference in these last 6 weeks where he's been so good, and can he do it again on Saturday night?
Look, I think it's just keeping it simple. I mean, you have the best athlete in the NFL as your quarterback. So let him do the things that he does best. Let him run around, scramble for first downs. Let him run for touchdowns and make highlights. So I just think that you don't need a call sheet. You see all these offensive coordinators with the call sheet, that's twice the size of them, and they're going through all these calls. Literally, just cut your call sheet down, have your best plays ready to go, Let your quarterback go out there, have fun, fly around, play power football to where you can run the football and kind of create that toughness and just run over the Bills, because I think the Bills are going to have a hard time stopping the run.
Again, the two quarterbacks in the same draft class, and Baker Mayfield of that class as well. 3 of them on the field this weekend, all in the AFC. All right, much more football as we roll on Get Up this morning. But right now, let's go to the fights.
No fighter in UFC history has ever been champion in 2 weight divisions at the same time. It is all over. History has been made. Conor McGregor is the UFC lightweight champion.
Don't miss it, the next chapter in the career of the notorious Conor McGregor, UFC 257, Poirier McGregor 2, live from Fight Island, January 23rd, 10 o'clock Eastern on UFC pay-per-view exclusively on ESPN+. And no one more excited for that than this man. UFC President Dana White is back here. Good to see you, Dana. And let's talk about Conor. He's back in the octagon for the first time in a year. During that time, he flirted with retirement. He talked about boxing. How is he approaching this fight mentally and physically?
Yeah, obviously, if you look at the things that he's posting on Instagram, he's physically ready for this fight. And the interaction that I've had with him, he is mentally and emotionally ready for this fight. When you have this type of a Conor McGregor that we're dealing with this week, it's going to be fun. And one of the big problems I think about this fight is a lot of people are underestimating Poirier. Poirier is not the same guy that fought Conor last time. He's been waiting for this opportunity for a very long time. He's ripped through all the best in the division. We're in for a good fight next Saturday.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute here. This is a rematch of a fight from 2014, and Poirier lost in 1 minute 46 seconds with a TKO. Why is it different this time?
This was one of the fights that actually exploded McGregor onto the scene, and people started to realize this guy just doesn't talk, this guy's for real. And obviously, if you look at Poirier's resume and who he's beat since that Conor McGregor fight, he's a completely different fighter than he was then, and so is Conor, for that matter.
Yeah, obviously a lot of time has gone by. What does it mean to you, quickly, if I have an extra second here, what does it mean to you to have Conor back? This obviously is the biggest name that there is. What does it mean for you and for UFC to have Conor back in a week and a half?
Yeah, he's one of the biggest superstars in all of sports, and not just in the United States, globally, around the world. You know, the UK, Brazil, Australia. This kid is a global superstar for us, and obviously every time he fights, it's fun, it's exciting, it creates tons of energy all over the world, so it's a big deal.
In the meantime, Dana, tomorrow's UFC card is on ABC. It's the first time there has been a fighting sport on ABC in 20 years. Now, ABC used to be the home of all the boxing greats, so what does it mean to you and to UFC to be on ABC tomorrow?
I'm one of those guys that grew up on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, the list goes on and on. And, right after the weigh-ins today, I talked to the fighters because most of these kids don't remember ABC's Wide World of Sports, but it's a big deal. It's a very big deal for me personally. It's a big deal for the company and obviously for this young up-and-coming talent to get to showcase their skills on ABC. We're very